Audi's much improved 5th generation A6 Avant is a large, luxurious estate that combines practicality with panache. In this C8 series form, it's even higher tech, better finished and cleverer than before, and aims to offer buyers a little more charisma and driving reward than the previous version could have. You can see why so many buyers in this segment like it. Audi may not be too far ahead of its arch-rival BMW in terms of overall sales, but in one segment at least, the Ingolstadt maker comprehensively beats its closest rival, that of large, luxurious, executive-class estates. Their A6 Avant outsells the rival BMW 5 Series Touring nearly 2-1, and is even further ahead of estate versions of other key segment competitors like Mercedes E-Class Estate and the Jaguar XF Sport Brake. What then might the marque achieve with a car that's smarter, safer and cleverer? This one, the 5th generation A6 Avant. This isn't the biggest model in its segment, but for many buyers it offers the most complete all-round proposition in terms of model choice, practicality and technology, which explains why the other German brands take this contender so seriously. It's claimed to be the most complete large load carrier Audi has ever made. Let's check it out. Previous A6 Avant models have never particularly prioritised a dynamic driving experience, but this one offers a decent step forward in that respect, despite the fact that the entry-level 4-cylinder diesel model continues to buck the class trend by pushing power through its front wheels. Dynamically, that's a limiting factor, but with this C8 series model, Audi's engineers have worked around it by building in a stiffer MLB Evo chassis, a more sharply responding variable progressive steering rack, and a very effective optional adaptive damping system. Arguably the most important changes made here, though, have taken place beneath the bonnet. Audi offers this A6 Avant with a wide range of engines, mostly with the brand's latest mild hybrid tech. The range kicks off with a couple of 2-litre 4-cylinder models, the first of them being the 40 TDI diesel with 204 PS, the variant I just mentioned. From that point on in the range, all A6 derivatives get quattro 4-wheel drive, starting with the other 4-cylinder model, the petrol-powered 45 TFSI Quattro, which offers 245 PS. Next up lie a couple of 3-litre 6-cylinder models, the 50 TDI Quattro diesel with 286 PS, that's what we've got here, and the 55 TFSI Quattro petrol with 340 PS. Today we've chosen to try the all-road A6 Avant model with its air suspension and raised ride height. The all-road Quattro variant offers buyers 3 engine choices: a slightly detuned 231 PS version of the 6-cylinder 3-litre TDI diesel unit, badged 45 TDI, and the 2 aforementioned 6-cylinder units, the 50 TDI and the 55 TFSI. At the top of the range sit 2 bespoke sporty models. The S6 Quattro uses the 3-litre 6-cylinder TDI diesel engine in an uprated 350 PS state of tune, and the top RS6 Quattro has a 4-litre TFSI twin-turbo V8 petrol with 600 PS, the result being rest to 62 miles an hour in 3.6 seconds, 124 miles an hour in 12 seconds, and one rather queasy Labrador. As before, all A6 models are exclusively equipped with automatic transmission. That'll be a 7-speed S-tronic gearbox, unless you've opted for a 3-litre 6-cylinder diesel or the RS6, in which case the transmission will be an 8-speed Tiptronic setup to handle the extra torque. In conjunction with the Tiptronic transmission, the Quattro configuration is based on the familiar self-locking centre differential format, while the S-tronic transmission works with more efficient Ultra technology, which is capable of engaging the rear axle instantly whenever needed, but decouples it during cruising to maximise efficiency. The driver can select various driving profiles via the Audi Drive Select system, with efficiency, comfort and dynamic options, plus auto if you can't make up your mind, and individual if you want to set your own throttle, steering and gear shift parameters. According to Audi's research clinics, A6 customers value understated exterior design above almost everything else, so they should feel right at home with the conservatively evolved looks of this C8 series 8th generation contender. The balanced proportions are smart and contemporary, with much borrowed from this model's A8 Saloon and A7 Sportback stablemates. That means taut surfaces, sharply defined edges, striking lines and short overhangs. From the front, the wide, low, single-frame grille with its vertical aluminium struts signals intent, and as with other A6 variants, is flanked by piercing LED headlamps. This is now a pretty sizable piece of sculpted executive segment German real estate, being nearly 5 metres long and the best part of 2 metres wide, yet standing only just over 1.4 metres high. Here we've got the all-road version with its slightly raised ride height and extra cladding for the wheel arch trims and underbody. All A6 Avants measure in at exactly the same length as their saloon showroom stablemates, but are 10mm taller. Like the saloon, the Avant body style features this relatively low, sleek glass house and two subtle swage lines. One flows from the headlamp to the door mirror, while the other eases out of the panel work just before the rear door handle, then flows back to emphasise the rear haunches. Lower down, this deeper convex crease gives the flanks some shape, separating arches, housing large wheels of between 18 and 21 inches in size. We've got 20-inch 5 V-spoke design rims here. The rear is characterised by this wide chrome strip that flows right across the width of the mid part of the tailgate into the LED tail lamp clusters. Most variants get scrolling dynamic indicators and a special light signature made up of a single horizontal line and 9 vertical segments. But as ever with an expensive Audi, it's what's underneath all this tinsel that really ought to command your attention. The A6 structure lacks the high-tech magnesium and carbon fibre reinforced polymer elements of the larger A8 Saloon, but features the latest stiff, sophisticated aluminium-intensive MLB Evo platform that the Volkswagen Group currently uses for all its largest cars. Inside up front, the cabin is as well appointed as you'd expect from a full executive class model, with leather and Alcantara combination upholstery and impeccable fit and finish. Plus, most buyers will want this Audi virtual cockpit instrument binnacle digital display. Media features are taken care of by the usual black panel MMI twin screen system on the centre stack that now features in all top-line Audis, with a 10.1-inch screen for infotainment functions up top and a smaller 8.6-inch display, mainly for climate features, just below. Thanks to this car's long 2.93 metre wheelbase, the back seat offers reasonable space for 3 adults, but much more comfortable room for 2, and you get a fold-down centre armrest with storage and cup holders. There are rear seatback nets, and as an option, you can specify a 4-zone climate system, which gives rear seat folk this separate control screen. There are twin USB ports and a 12-volt socket, twin centre vents, and overhead reading lights. Many buyers will want to specify this 2-part panoramic glass roof too, which floods the cabin with light. This C8 Series A6 Avant was given a swept-back rear styling, intended to relieve Audi of the need to produce an extra stylised large estate model, but you might wonder whether this will impinge on practicality. Apparently not. Out back in this estate model, there's a 565-litre boot. You get these useful floor-mounted rails, but there's very little room beneath this cargo base. Lift the floor and there's this plastic recessed tray, but below that, no standard spare wheel, which is a touch disappointing. There are bag hooks on either cargo sidewall, plus you get an elasticated net on the left and an elasticated strap on the right. Classy LED strip lights on both sides and a 12-volt socket on the left. The centre part of the 40-20-40 split rear bench can be retracted if you need to push longer items like skis into the passenger compartment without disturbing a couple of rear-seated folk. If you want to push the seat backs down completely, you do it by pulling on these cargo sidewall levers, which reveals a 1,680 litre space. Unfortunately, the front passenger seat can't be flattened to make it even bigger. Expect a premium of just over £2,000 to own an A6 Avant over the saloon body style. That means asking price is similar to before, starting from around £42,000. As usual, this car's three key rivals are the Mercedes E-Class Estate, the BMW 5 Series Touring and the Jaguar XF Sport Brake, perhaps also the Volvo V90. There's a choice of 2-litre 4-cylinder and 3-litre 6-cylinder engines. Only the base 40 TDI variant lacks quattro 4-wheel drive and all get auto transmission. If you want this all-road body style with its extra ride height and off-road driving modes, prices start from around £55,000. As for the top sporting variants, well, think in terms of around a £65,000 budget for the A6 Avant and around £95,000 for the RS6. Whatever derivative you choose, you'll need to get your A6 Avant spec right. In the mainstream range, there are 4 suspension setups: the conventional steel sprung suspension, the sport suspension, the suspension with damper control and the adaptive air suspension, also with controlled damping. Progressive steering, which becomes even quicker and more direct as the steering angle increases, is standard. And dynamic all-wheel steering can also be added to further enhance this agility. Plus, you can add in various autonomous driving features and even specify Audi's parking pilot and garage pilot systems that will allow you to stand outside of your A6 and remotely park it. Brilliant. A sophisticated MMI navigation system comes as standard, or you can add the optional MMI Navigation Plus setup. This has a media hub with high-speed data transfer using the LTE Advanced standard. With this more advanced infotainment package, you can further add optional modules, including 2 sound systems headed by the Bang & Olufsen Advanced Sound System delivering 3D sound. Audi Connect online services also provide clever Car2X services, traffic sign and hazard information. They use the swarm intelligence from the Audi fleet and network the Audi A6 with its environment. Nearly all buyers will want to specify the optional technology pack, which gives you the MMI Navigation Plus package with its larger 10.1 and 8.6-inch centre touchscreens, plus the Audi Virtual Cockpit Digital Instrument Binnacle display and a wireless charging mat. Now, talking of packs, many will want the optional Comfort and Sound pack, which gives you a Bang & Olufsen premium sound system, a 360-degree surround view camera setup, and an extended LED interior multicoloured lighting layout. This panoramic glass sunroof is a pricey but desirable extra, as is 4-zone air conditioning with separate controls for the rear seat. And you might well want to upgrade to the HD Matrix LED headlights, which incorporate a cleaning system, and these larger 20-inch wheels. Enough with optional features, let's move on to look at safety. This car is protected by a whole armoury of electronic camera-driven features. Around 40 of these have been developed for this generation A6, and many of them are standard. As you'd expect in this day and age, there's an autonomous braking system included in that roster. Ingolstadt calls its setup Audi Presense Front. And like other similar packages, this one scans the road ahead looking for potential accident hazards as you drive, and will automatically brake the car to try and avoid them if you don't respond to warnings. There's also a lane departure warning setup that issues a warning if you drift out of your lane on the highway, and applies subtle steering assistance to ease you back to where you really ought to be. It's always possible to go further though, and should you want extra peace of mind, your Audi Centre salesperson will doubtless point you towards the 2 extra cost safety packs on offer. Now, let's start with the City Assist pack, which includes 3 main features. Side Assist works as a blind spot monitor, warning you on the move if you're dangerously about to pull out to overtake into the path of another vehicle. Cross Traffic Assist Front warns of dangerous cross-traffic movements at junctions and can, if necessary, automatically apply the brakes, preventing an accident. Presense Rear warns you via a flashing light if you're about to be hit from behind, so that you can try and take avoiding action. Now, it can also warn you of oncoming traffic when you're reversing out of a space. The other key optional safety pack you can specify is the Tour Pack, which is quite popular with A6 buyers because it also includes Audi's clever predictive efficiency assistant setup, which uses GPS data to tailor the driving characteristics of your car to most efficiently suit current traffic flow and route topography. In addition to this, the Tour Pack includes 5 key camera-driven features. Arguably the cleverest part of the package is Adaptive Cruise Assist, which uses a radar sensor, a laser scanner, a front camera and ultrasonic sensors, all networked together to permanently monitor your A6's surroundings. Drawing on feedback from these systems, plus local speed restrictions and navigation data, Adaptive Cruise Assist will be able to help you to more proactively control acceleration, braking, lane positioning and distance to the vehicle in front, all at any speed and with functionality that's equally effective whether you're stuck in traffic or completely alone on the road. It's very clever. As for the 4 other Tour Pack features, well, there's High Beam Assist to automatically dip the LED headlamps in the face of oncoming traffic, traffic sign recognition, which can picture road signs and display them on the dash, and Audi Presense Basic, which activates if a collision is inevitable and will help you withstand it by instantly tightening the seat belts, closing any open windows and also closing the sunroof if you've got one fitted. Finally, as part of this pack, there's also an emergency assist element added to the standard lane departure warning system that's able to autonomously bring the car to a safe, controlled stop if you don't respond to repeated warnings about drifting out of lane, as might be the case if, for example, you were suddenly taken ill at the wheel. It all means that in driving an A6, there are lots of safety systems to oversee, particularly if you've ticked a few options boxes. With all available features fitted, your A6 will come with a sensor set including up to 5 radar sensors, 5 cameras, plus 12 ultrasonic sensors and a radar scanner. So how on earth can you monitor all the different features in everyday driving and decide which ones you want to activate on any given moment? Well, Audi has tried to simplify that process here by providing a driver assist button at the bottom of the centre stack, there to allow this selection of the kind of electronic security blanket that you want. Basic includes only the most important items, Maximum gives you everything, and Individual allows you to pick and choose the features that you want activated. At the lowest driver assist level, Basic, there's that standard Presense front autonomous braking system that we mentioned earlier. The top maximum driver assist setting adds 2 further features, distance warning, which alerts you if you're getting too close to the vehicle in front, and rest recommendation feature, which alerts you if drowsiness is detected in your driving reactions. It's all very reassuring. All the mainstream 4 and 6-cylinder engines in this 5th generation A6 Avant feature the brand's latest mild hybrid technology. Here, a belt alternator starter, or a BAS, works together with a lithium-ion battery, enabling the A6 to coast at speeds of between 34 and 99 miles an hour in the interest of fuel economy, and to initiate its start-stop function earlier at speeds of 13 miles an hour and below. The engine is restarted from standstill predictively as soon as the vehicle in front starts moving. During deceleration, the BAS recovers up to 12 kilowatts of energy. Let's get to the WLTP figures. The volume 2-litre 40 TDI diesel 4-cylinder version manages up to 47.1 miles to the gallon on the combined cycle and up to 158 grams per kilometre of CO2. For the 6-cylinder 50 TDI Quattro diesel, the figures are up to 38.7 miles to the gallon and up to 192 grams per kilometre of CO2. The 2-litre 45 TFSI Quattro 4-cylinder petrol version is up to 33.2 miles to the gallon and 192 grams per kilometre. And for the 55 TFSI Quattro 6-cylinder petrol variant, it's up to 30.1 miles to the gallon and up to 214 grams per kilometre. We'll finish by covering the warranty. All cars in this class get 3 years of cover, but whereas BMW and Mercedes don't limit your mileage in this period, Audi rather meanly restricts you to 60,000 miles. Optional extra cost packages can extend the cover to either 4 or 5 years. This, even BMW and Mercedes would reluctantly have to admit, is a beautiful piece of engineering. It always has been. The A6 Avant was, after all, the first car in its class to offer things like bonded-in flush glazing, a galvanised body shell, V6 TDI power, four-wheel drive, and advanced twin-clutch automatic gearboxes. And in this improved, smart-suited 5th-generation C8 series guise, the cleverness continues. An extra dose of visual charisma blended with high technology and premium quality unsurpassed in this sector. This car's drawbacks, such as they are, don't appear to bother many potential buyers. No, it's still not the most spacious large executive estate in its class, but these days it's large enough for that not to matter. Yes, the extras can be expensive, but then that's the case with any premium executive car. And it's true that the handling isn't especially aimed at driving enthusiasts, though you can go a long way towards sharpening it by ticking the right options boxes. This then is a very complete product that will doubtless continue as one of the leaders in its class for many years to come. A thorough case, if ever there was one, of Vorsprung der Technik.